Hey gang, I thought I'd plop down on the floor and just go through my current working pocket knife collection. So now these are the knives that I own that are the ones that I'm actually likely to use for various things while I've got them all here. It's pretty small, isn't it? The amount of knives I actually keep, it's quite small. I often sell and trade and barter and all that sort of thing, or just give plain or give away stuff when I'm not that fond of it. But these are the ones that have stuck around so far. Some of them are pretty new and still sort of being worked out. Some of them are kind of more standards and stalwarts in the collection. First of all, I'll just show you, this is a guest blade I have on, something to perhaps look forward to seeing. This is a Strider from a buddy Chris, who has sent it along mainly to be cut tested. He's interested to see what the CTS 40 CP is like. I'm very interested in it too. A quick check of the knife steel thing says it's Carpenter's version of 440C, so I'm assuming it's like a powdered 440C, so that could mean anything. It could be, you know, if you're thinking about my cut test, it could be here, or it could be, you know, here, or you know, maybe not here, it's maxing it, but it could be around these, or it could be more 154 cm. Well, I doubt it'll trouble it too much, but you never know. Really interesting. So look forward to a cut test and probably a quick review of this one. I won't be carrying it too much. Just going to use it, sharpen it, and then send it straight on back. So really, it'll be a couple of days long review, but I'll definitely go over what a Strider knife is and how it is different and how it is so expensive, because these really are. This is Sebenza money here for this knife. So we'll go on to that as well. Anyway, back to my collection. We'll start from one side and work all the way through, I guess. Let's start with the Almar Falcon. Whoa. This is a little AUS 8 ultralight knife. It weighs about 40 grams. And I carry this one the most out of all of these knives. I usually carry this one and one of these knives. I'm a bit of a psycho like that. I've sort of gotten a bit funny about it. I've got this thing in my head. I can't, if I'm carrying a really nice knife, and this is a nice knife, but I kind of think, oh, maybe if I'm going to cut that, I would just use my Almar to cut that, and I'll save the edge for, you know, I'm getting this stupid mentality. It's stupid, you don't need to tell me. But that's kind of how it is. This has been definitely my beater or my main user knife. Like when I'm going to cut something down through to the bench top without having a cutting board or something. Almar Falcon. AUS 8 steel. These are prohibitively expensive, brand new, but I got this one second hand from Nick Shabazz. This is the one that was featured in his review, so kind of like it because of that as well. So yeah, it's worked out really well for me. I love its lightweight and I love its look. You can carry this knife pretty much anywhere and it just looks like a kitchen knife. It really does. People don't even realise it locks at first until you start flicking it around and being all fucking badass. But you don't do that anyway, do you? So, yeah, so that's the Almar Falcon. Really liking that one. The Emerson CQC 7B. There'll be a review of this one coming very soon. I got this one without the Wave because the Wave wasn't too high on my priority lists. I've just sharpened this. I just took this on my Tormek and gave it a good old sharpen. And geez, these chisel grinds take a sharp edge, like a chisel, I suppose. But yeah, a really simple sharpening job as well. Bzzzt, and then switched around, and then bzzzt on that Tormek water wheel of mine. I ended up sort of steepening the edge on that Tanto tip just a little bit because I think you can take it. 154 cm G10, very interesting knife. The review of this should be, it's actually up right now if you check my Facebook. You can see it. My social media friends can get the link, huh? How's that? Treating you nice. So yeah, there's that one. I'll probably be posting it for everyone else's eyes tomorrow, but you know, if you see this and want to go check it out, go and like me on Facebook or follow me on Instagram, and you can occasionally get an early release video that's just like a private one that I give you the link to. How cool is that? The Chris Reeve Sebenza. We're gradually forming a review of this one. I've actually been writing stuff down about it because this knife is so damn expensive. I'm not going to recommend it unless, you know, well, it's a good knife, but my review is hard because I still don't quite think it's worth 600 Australian dollars, which is what it costs to get one of these out here. Don't quite think it's that in terms of just being a practical user knife. Collectors will understand, knife people will understand, I think. They might. But yeah, it's hard to put into words what this is all about here. S35VN, this is the one with bog oak in the scale. So bog oak is like a semi-fossilized wood. It's like almost become a rock, but still kind of just wood, enough to be called wood. Really interesting stuff, and it's why I got this one, because I did want an inlay. I wanted my Sebenza to seem a little bit special, because it would be fucked if I'm getting two. No, I really will be. My wife will murder me in my sleep with my Sebenza probably. The Maximet Manix 2. I was just going to get this, still test it and get rid of it, but it's taken the place of the ZDP Endura. I really like it. This one I like a lot because they've stonewashed the blade, so it's actually kind of fun to fiddle with, which is something that no Manix has ever been that I've handled before. No Manix too lightweight anyway. And the Endura, whilst it's really, really nice, it's going to a guy who wanted it a bit more than me, so... and this kind of does the same job as the Endura in my collection, so to speak. So yeah, the Maximet's an amazing steel for my cutting. Interesting to see though, I noticed old mate Nick Shabazz had a really chippy native 5 in Maximet, so that's interesting, just from cutting cardboard. So maybe it's a result of Spyderco not quite having the steel all figured out yet. In this case, it seems pretty well figured out in this knife. Really high cutting test results, and you know, overall general toughness. I've used this on some wood, and when I saw Nick's Instagram post, I went out and said, oh, I'm going to go and chip mine now as well. And I actually couldn't do it. I did a few, I mean, I didn't abuse it, I didn't hit it against rocks or anything, but I did a few things to it, and this one's fine. So it might be something worth waiting a while if you're going to go on this Maximet rush. Perhaps just wait a while, or perhaps check that yours is a newer manufacturer, because there might be something they've worked out since. Never know. So it's the Maximet Manix 2, Benchmade 940, still my favourite knife. It just speaks to me. Some people don't like it, which is completely fine. I like slim knives, and this one can still cut pretty well. It's not going to cut like this, or like this, but it's, you know, it cuts well. I just like it mainly because of how it looks, and I like the green. It's a different colour to most knives. I like the axis lock. Yeah, I've sort of tossed up the idea of getting the 941 in S90V, getting rid of this one, upgrading to it, so to speak, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I'm just going to stick on this one. I like it. It's becoming mine as well. It's getting like its marks on it, and it's, you know, it's wear. It's my knife. I really like it. If I just had to grab one from a fire, it'd still be this one. But close competitor coming up is the Spydie Chef, and this is easily my favourite Spyderco. This is a delightful little knife. You can see my review on it. This steel cuts for about as long as this stuff, but doesn't rust. It's really, really quite impressive. I've just left the crap on there from the other day. I cut up some garlic to make my special tonic that I drink when I feel like I'm getting a cold, and garlic will rust the crap out of a blade. There is nothing on here at all. I just left it on there and put it back in my pocket and then put it in my box. It still smells like garlic, but there is no rust, no real markings or tarnishings at all, apart from like the cloudy like bit of garlic, which, yep, I'm pretty sure is just going to wipe off. Very, very cool stuff. This is a Marcin Schlich frame lock. Very, very nice. You'll pay a bit for this, but I think it's worth it because you're getting titanium, you're getting a lightweight knife with a really, really good steel that's not really available in too many other knives, so good stuff. And then lastly is the Geyser Gemini. Man, I love this knife. My wife loves this knife. This is her favourite of my knives, and I can see why. It looks really cool. It looks kind of like soft and non-threatening, and yeah, it's a different looker to all the other ones. I know it's still just another titanium frame lock. It's funny, it's the one I kept out of all of mine. I think technically the Line Steel M390 TRE G10 is probably a better one, like a better actual user knife maybe, but this one's just kind of nicer, or there's something about it that just made me keep this one instead. Been doing a lot of selling lately. This one's an S35 VN, and this is good S35. Did a good number in the cut test. I think it matched CPM 3V, which is a really good steel, but obviously has its energies put into being tough as well as edge holding. So this one is sort of a more stainless and easy, more malleable version of the S30V in my experience. So very interesting knife as well from Kaiser. Impeccably fit and finished from a really, really good and enduring Ray Laconico Jasmine design. So really can't knock the Gemini. I think it's one of Kaiser's best. So that's my current everyday carry pocket knife collection. Like, I've got some others. I've got like you know, some cheapies and stuff, and I've got some ones that are always sort of cycling through. None of them have really stuck. So these are the stayers so far. Ones that might not stick around. Emerson might go. I don't know. Emerson and this are kind of doing the same thing for me. So yeah, it's interesting. I can see myself just getting this to this point though, and just using it. The Manix, yeah. As I always say, as I've reviewed this twice now, it isn't something you ever feel particularly strongly about. This one I feel the best about because it is a bit more fun to play with. So it's got that going for it. But often with a knife, for me, because I'm an idiot, and because I've got like the the brain of like a frustrated teenager when it comes to knives. I just needed to be kept busy all the time. So I like a bit of like oddness or a bit of, you know, funness to my knives to play with and look at. This one does the trick because it's odd and angular and the steel's cool. I need to have something. These are just a little bit too neutral for me, a bit too generic. There is an S90V one on Cutlery Shop, which looks cool, so maybe check that out if you're after a Manix. But as for the Maximate one, my experience with it so far is good. Anyway, I think that's all I really felt like talking about today. So stay tuned for Sebenza review, Emerson review, and some Strider SNG stuff. Cool. As well as, while I'm here, while I've got you, a Schrade SCHF 42D, 52D, 42D, that's coming. I've got a knife from Tyndall Knives coming. So there'll be some fixed blades coming up as well, guys, so don't fret too much about me being a pocket knife nerd lately. I just haven't been out camping too much and haven't been outdoorsy recently for just, I guess, personal reasons, like my kids have just been a bit too hard to, whatever, get the time away to... Oh, no, you know what it is? I just haven't had a break from work for ages, so you kind of get cooped up in the house and get more this-centric, so it is what it is. Sorry about that, friends, if you're one of my fixed blade enjoyers. There'll be a bit more pocket knife to suffer through, but then they'll be back out for some fixed. Bit of a collaboration coming up with another channel, the... well, used to be Alaskan Bushcraft, but now he's Alyeska Bushcraft. So yeah, there's something to look forward to as well. And that involves the Schrade knife and a couple of other cool things, so keep an eye on that too. That's just going to be a bit of a slow burner and get that done. So yeah, general state of things, state of the collection, state of myself. Thanks for watching, dudes, and I do really appreciate all of my subscribers lately. It's really kicked up a notch. 3,000 was like a few days ago, and I'm already at 3,150. So by all means, please share and tell your friends about my channel. Share my channel on whatever forums you look for, because it is nice. It's nice having people, nice talking to people about it. You know, the arseholes, I just hide their comments straight away, and the aggro people. But I notice you're talking amongst yourselves, and it's kind of nice. It's like it's another place, you know, another place to natter about people who kind of have my view on knives rather than like the more traditional views, or the more common views, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, that's all from me today. I'll stop talking now, because the longer I talk, the longer it takes to upload this video, and the less internet I have. The internet's not so good in Australia. Oh, I'm doing it again. That's another can of worms for another day. I'll see you all later, folks. Bye.